Hey everyone, SlasherTheMod here, welcoming you back to another video for Fortnite. Much like my last video, today I'll be talking about the new weapons added a few days ago and give the recommended attachments for each weapon. While I wanted to get this video out sooner, being sick unfortunately killed my voice, which is still recovering from congestion actually. I also didn't feel so hot just being awake in general, plus work was holding me back, but enough of that. Today we got the guns that came out recently, those being the drum gun, Midas's drum gun, and the hand cannon. Let's talk about the drum gun first. This classic weapon originating from Chapter 1 Season 4 is a moderate firing, strong damage SMG that uses medium bullets. This weapon hits harder than the regular SMGs, albeit with slightly slower firing speed, much lower reload times, and with a unique recoil pattern compared to other weapons. The recoil on the drum gun is slow on the upside but drastically changes horizontally, making it difficult to control with sustained fire. The weapon moves left to right at a seemingly random pattern while also maintaining a slow upwards recoil. Despite this, it's always found with the drum magazine and always gives a high damage of 22 to 25, enough to wipe out a 250 health player within a few bullets. For its attachments, I found it to be a complete mix of either sticking to ADSing with the weapon, as the range seems to be quite decent if it's somewhat close to a mid-range or closer. Sometimes I will use it as a mix of an SMG to an AR. There's two recommendations I have for the drum gun. The first one being the classic SMG spray and pray, and the AR but an SMG. For the spray and pray loadout, I recommend the laser sights for hip firing, as depending how close you are to your target, ADSing may not be on your mind when you are following up shots. But this will help keep that spray at a tighter pattern. Muzzle brake for the reducing recoil is always a happy trait we can all take for a gun with wild recoil patterns. While I don't see a big difference, I feel it can always help. Finally, the speed magazine to help compensate this weapon's slow reload time, as most reloads with the drum magazine can range to an agonizing 3-second reload time. While it doesn't sound like forever, remember, anything can happen in 3 seconds. 3 seconds is a lot of time for your opponent to heal, push you quickly, or escape your sights while you're stuck reloading, assuming you don't have a good range or follow-up shot to do. With the speed magazine, you'll easily reload quickly and save time to fire it once again. For sights, that's completely up for preference, but interestingly enough, like other SMGs, you can also equip the thermal sights with it too. But I'd stick to no sights or 1x sights if you want. For the AR, but an SMG loadout, you'll want the speed magazine, the vertical foregrip to handle that recoil, muzzle brake for the same recoil benefit, and interestingly enough, either the 1.3x sight or the 2.1x thermal sight. The reason I mention this sight is because of the fall off range is not bad when your opponent is at a distance. Plus the recoil is much more easier managed compared to the Warforged assault rifle. While it is not a direct replacement to the AR, this drum gun can be your quote-unquote assault rifle when you mod this weapon. Overall, this drum gun is a sweet addition to Chapter 5 Season 2 and seems better balanced for me to use. Next, Midas's Mythic drum gun, a much more powerful variant of the drum gun. While I didn't talk about the mythic versions of the guns from my previous video, they are primarily just slightly stronger, slightly faster reloading weapons with minimal changes. The drum gun is a different case, so it seems. This drum gun, interestingly enough, has a slightly faster firing speed at 0.5 more than the legendary version, and it requires to be purchased from Midas himself at the Marigold for 600 gold. Rather than defeating the boss to acquire a mythic, it also seems that the gun has a lower drop-off rate compared to the others, but I couldn't test it as much as I wanted to. While also close to the legendary, it also looked like the recoil was almost the same, but lower? Regardless, while the gun is a bit difficult to acquire as few players will go after the drum gun itself, it is also a great and fun gun to buy and use against your opponents. At least with this mythic version, you can use it like a miniature assault rifle. Just mind the reload time. Finally, let's talk about the hand cannon. This slow firing pistol has an incredible high damage and sniping capabilities. It can work as a smaller sniper with much faster ADSing, better hip fire with weaker damage. Would this be like a DMR? Most definitely, but more powerful in the right hands. It cannot one-shot headshot a player, but the variety of plays you can do with the hand cannon is quite high. With the attachments I'd recommend is a suppressor to hide that shot audio, as recoil is meaningless with that slow fire rate. Treat it like a DMR or sniper in such case. For magazine size, the drum magazine or the speed magazine is okay to use. The speed magazine cuts the reload time to less than 2 seconds, which the hand cannon does reload quick enough already, but the drum magazine gives it a nice 10-round magazine for more shots. For the under-barrel attachment, only thing you can put on is the laser sights, which is where the hand cannon shines that the sniper and DMR cannot. The hip fire capability increases by so much you can hit consistent shots by hip firing with the laser sight, giving you more room to even be jump shotting and landing a nice shot to your enemy. For sights, while you can actually put on a 4x sniper scope, I'd recommend a 2x thermal sights, as I found it much more useful to hide your sniper glare with the hand cannon. It's not very hard to aim with the thermal sights, assuming you're not aiming very far, that is. The hand cannon, while weaker than the sniper, is definitely a fun gun for me to be using, sometimes making me take it over the sniper itself. The versatility it has versus a sniper is great. The only downside I would say about this gun is just how rare it can be to find it. As it is unupgradable by Midas Station, you can only find it up to a legendary version if you're lucky enough through the chests. So, good luck. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully this helps you in your future games. Let me know what you guys think and how much fun this season is becoming so far. Season 1 gave me good hype, and Season 2 introducing more weapons like this is making me look forward to the future. Now get out there and win some games, y'all. Just remember, stay safe out there, wear your face masks, and I'll see you guys in another video.